What is up, guys? Fado82 coming at you with some Rust gameplay. We're on the Rustified dev server. We're taking a look at the new terrain, and it is absolutely gorgeous. So we just got killed, and I respawned on a beach here, but it's a great place to kick off. You can see the different effects they've added in here. We have some driftwood that's washed up on the shore. We have some stones that are littering sort of the beach down here, and you'll notice the rock outcroppings over here, guys, which are just amazing. It seems like they form a lot into arches now, which is cool, but I'm seeing the arch, repeating itself quite a bit. But nonetheless, it's a really cool concept, and it just adds to the immersiveness of the environment. Let's go ahead and take a look at one of these arches a little bit closer up, and we'll go ahead and we'll see just how it makes you feel from the ground level. So you're walking under it, you can really feel the scale of it and the scope of it, and it's just simply stunning. My hat's off to the guys, on the Rust development team and the work they do. You can tell they're really working hard. Sometimes updates come out and it feels like, what happened, but then when they push an update through like this, you realize that, they've been really grinding away. Look at this asshole with the gun's gonna kill me again. Fucking Jesus. See if we can't reason with the man. God damn. But you'll notice walking amongst the rocks that it is very immersive. Alright, I'm going to hide over here and see if this fucking donkey won't lay off me with his AK. You're trying to make a Rust video, you're trying to show off the environment, and somebody's got to ruin it with their AK. I'm going to hide in the rock here. So guys, I'm going to keep going on with the commentary. This is where I died last. The man with the AK-47 is stalking me through the rocks here, but I think it goes along with the theme of the game, which is showing you what the environment is like from the experience, the standpoint of a player. So we're going to keep moving along here and see if we can't escape our stalker who's hunting us for fun. But we'll just keep on with the commentary, and whatever happens, happens. So the rocks, guys, are really the most pronounced part of the environment. There's a lot of small details that need to be appreciated as well, but the rocks are simply stunning. So let's keep moving on. Life is short, especially in Rust, and we'll move down towards the coast. I want to show you guys one of the new road models that I found. I'm not sure if it's meant to be a road or not, but it appeared just to be like a cobblestone road. So we'll see if we can't go ahead and find something like that. Let's keep moving. And we're getting shot at again with the man with the AK-47. We're going to zigzag. We're going to give him a run for his money. I don't know why he feels the need to kill me. I didn't do anything to this man. We'll hide over here. We'll see if we can't lose him in the rocks. If anything, I'll make him waste his bullets because, you know what? Why not, right? He'll have to craft some more. He wasted it on a naked man who was just trying to make a YouTube video to show off the beauty of the game and some of the new features that have been implemented. I'm losing health quickly, but I might stop bleeding around like 2 health. Hopefully. If not, hopefully I'll die in a spot where he won't be able to find me and he won't be able to get the satisfaction of knowing that he killed me. So you're waking up on a beach as you normally would in Rust, and we're met with this procedurally generated but very beautiful cliff face here, or mountain range, which is just absolutely stunning. You guys can go ahead and see sort of some bases that are built amongst it, and it's just bringing me back to the days of Legacy, in a good way, and reminding me of how important it was to have those mountain ranges, and it's even better than it was in Legacy. So on the beach, you'll notice there's now these stone formations, or piles of stone that are really awesome, and driftwood that washes up ashore as well, which is really a cool feature. It adds to the overall atmosphere of the game and just makes it a really more immersive experience. We'll go ahead and keep moving along the landscape here, just sort of appreciating it all and taking it all in. This video, guys, there's not really a specific, well, I guess there is a specific point to it in that we're taking in the landscape showing off the changes, but the dialogue can really go anywhere, so we're gonna just kind of go with it. So be warned. And I'm really loving how these rocks generate. There's some flowers here which appear to be new. I don't believe they may have been there before, but I'm not one of those guys who doesn't take the time to smell the roses, so perhaps I'm just noticing them now for the first time. I don't really know, but we'll keep on moving, and we'll go ahead and see what we can experience by going inland and going into the interior and seeing what that has to offer us. Alright, so I'm feeling like the terrain is much more diverse in its topography, so we're moving through it in a way that seems more fluid. Interestingly enough, here, guys, looks like we have a couple different types of mushrooms. So we have the Amanita muscaria mushroom here, which is the classic red and white mushroom. A lot of lore behind that mushroom, very significant to many cultures and religions. I'm not going to go off on a tangent on mushrooms, guys, but awesome work with the mushrooms. Really loving those effects, and I think that hats off to the Rust team. So the flowers too are really nice. How they're sort of just embedded in the landscape, and they sort of just, you don't notice them at first, and then they just they're just there. You know, it's a very nice experience. Rust is one of those games, guys, where you don't often get a chance to really experience the beauty of it because you're always paranoid that some naked dude's going to bash your head in with a rock or somebody's going to C4 your base. But on this server right now, it seems to be fairly peaceful, and we can really go ahead and just get a sense of the landscape. And just looking down here, we can see that, you know, it's a much more rich and full landscape than the previous iteration. And let's move up here and take a look at the rocks. I know they've done a lot of work with the rocks, and you know, it really shows. So I'm curious to see how this will affect rock bases in terms of, I mean, it's still, clearly we can see there's still a rock base down there that's been built. But if the rocks are generating differently, it may make it more difficult to find that perfect rock to build your rock base on. So I like how they're mixing it up with the rocks. I think that it's looking a lot better. And what's cool is you really can kind of get lost when you're down by the rocks. So like, we're down here, you know, we duck through here, and this would be a great place to build a campfire, you know, if you didn't have a base, or even if you have a base and you're out traveling and you just need to cook up some meat real quick. I absolutely love that, how we found that little sort of groove. We're going to run down through the landscape here. We have a desert biome over here we're starting to hit, and then we're in more of the plains area here. We'll keep moving. I'm not going to hit barrels because it's really not the intention of this video. This is just to explore and take it all in. I like the effect with the rocks here, how it looks as though this rock has sort of over time degraded. You can see the top of it looks like it's chipped apart, and then the bottom of it we can see has fallen to pieces. So I'm hearing a guy up here hacking at something. Hopefully he's friendly. Hey, what's up, man? I'm friendly. I'm just taking a look at the landscape.
Hello.
Hello. So we'll keep on moving. That guy was pretty cool. So we'll move down by the coast again, and we'll see what's going on down there. We have a river here, guys, which looks pretty cool. The river is flowing in the right direction, and it's a really nice touch. The river bed, we can kind of see through it. It's transparent, and we can see that there are, you know, there's stone at the bottom, and it's, I think, really just a really cool effect, and I can't wait to see where they take it. in the future. What I'm really waiting for, guys, is dynamic weather. I can't wait till we have thunderstorms and lightning storms and all that stuff just rolling through as we're playing the game. Rainstorms, you know, fog, all this cool stuff. That's what I'm really waiting for. But I'm going to be patient and just enjoy what they're doing. So we'll move up the hill here and we'll take a look and see what we can experience. Again, the river is following a path that is fairly consistent. It's flowing downhill here. So let's go ahead and follow the river, guys. That's sometimes a good strategy in survival situations. But following this river up is really interesting because it's showing us how the terrain handles the river. And let's go ahead and see, you know, let's see if it's a continuous river or if it starts from, you know, a larger body of water. And that will be an interesting thing to test. And coming up, guys, we'll notice again the diversity with the landscape. The rocks are much more pronounced now, and I think just really draw the player in a lot better, a lot more effectively, rather. So we're moving up here. And I don't think I have my draw distance maxed out, but we can really see sort of some of the diversity of the topography. You know, we're up high, and we really get that sense. Oh God, there's an animal. I hear it, and I'm going to keep running. I always get so far, and then get eaten by a wolf. That's a. Keep moving, anyways. So coming up here. Look at that, guys. Look at how gorgeous that is. Just looking out over the landscape. Kind of taking it all in. Rust is one of those games, like I said, where you don't always get the chance to take it all in. It's usually a game that, you know, makes one very paranoid. But for the purposes of this video, we're just taking it all in. We got nothing to lose but our rock and our torch. And just looking at this, guys, it really kind of is reminding me, you know, of just how much that legacy map was constructed. You know, with the mountain ranges and different parts to it, and you know, I'm really looking forward to experiencing that reimagined legacy map when it's released. I'm glad they're doing it a little bit differently, so there will be kind of some differences to it, but it'll still have that same feel. It appears as though the topography is a lot more diverse now. I feel as though you know, I'm going up and down a lot more, which I like. It makes it much more interesting. I can imagine chasing people through this terrain or running for my life through this terrain. It's probably more correctly the case in Rust. And you know, lots of places to hide, so if you have people after you, you can kind of duck in here, you know, which is going to be really cool. And this type of terrain is going to lend itself to very creative base building. I've always been a big fan about building among the environment, and you're going to be able to do that again, you know, with this iteration of Rust. You could put a little base right in there. It'd be pretty cool. Not that it's going to be your main base, your most secure base, but I like being able to tuck things away like that. It's always been something I enjoy doing in Legacy, and it's been something that's kind of been missing, I think, from the previous iterations of Rust, but this one is definitely a huge step back in that direction. So let's run down towards the river there. The river is calling me, so we'll head down there and see where that brings us. And I really get the sense, guys, playing the game, that it's just much more immersive, and they're really doing some amazing work. The Face Punch team is doing some amazing work with their recent additions, you know, to Rust. It's really, they're really cranking it out. You know, for a while, it as a player, you know, it felt kind of stagnant. You know, maybe 6 months ago, it felt like it wasn't sure where it was going, but now it just feels like they're back on track. And I think they were always on track, but there's a lot that goes into it, and a lot that I don't understand, I'm sure. But lately, it just feels like the updates are much more significant and much more prominent. So, guys, we're in a deep forest here. I really like the effect of the the forest, how it really draws you in. There's a wolf there. I'm going to try not to aggro him or her. So the forest, I just feel like is always a place of mystery, and a good place to put a base because it's has that natural sort of security of the woods, and with the addition to the addition of the mushrooms and the flowers and everything, it just feels like a much more dense forest. It feels like a European forest rather than necessarily an American forest, or it just, I don't know, it feels like a forest in Germany or something. The forests in Germany are very interesting to explore, and that's what this feels like when I'm running through it. That's the first thing that pops into my mind. I don't know how accurate that is, but look, guys, if you can, I don't know if it comes through in the YouTube video, but just the beauty of the shafts of light coming through the trees and shining down here on the ground. Not to sound like a broken record, but Rust is one of those games where you don't really get to appreciate this a lot. Appreciate the very detailed environment and just the beauty of it. I mean, look at that. You can see the sun up there, and it's blocked out here, but we can see it in the opening there, and it just, my hat's off to the individuals who work on the terrain generation. It's just beautiful. So we're going to keep moving. And look how much more full this forest feels, guys. If you haven't been playing Rust, it might be hard to appreciate it, but in the previous iteration, it didn't have the sense of the scope that this has. So, I mean, it's amazing. It really feels like you can get lost in here, and if you were to put a base in here, you're really going to feel like you might have a chance to survive for a little bit because it's going to be somewhat hidden. This update is amazing. Again, the beautiful shafts of light that are coming down there, the shadows. It's just a gorgeous game, and I feel like it's not always appreciated as such. I felt like Legacy was beautiful. When I was playing that, there were times where we just kind of had to stop and take it all in, or take a picture of the sunset, or whatever it may have been. But this is just a whole nother level here. And looking back on that forest, guys, you can get a sense of the security that would have if you had a little base down there. You really can't see much. So I'm really digging it. We're going to keep moving on. Oh, there's a bear over there. Let's move in the other direction. And taking a look, guys, at the rocks, the way that they just sort of are randomly generated is very interesting. And there's a house here. Again, this is what I'm talking about, guys. This is what's so beautiful about it. I couldn't even see this house. I almost ran right by it. It's hidden in the landscape. And it's just amazing. It looks like a little cottage here. We'll rename the sleeping bag really quick. Fado was here, and we'll light their campfire to let them know we were there. We're not mean. We're not going to destroy sleeping bags. I'm not mean. It's not like when I say where, it sounds like I have multiple personalities, but I'm not generally a mean guy. Oh, I hear an animal. I don't know if it's friendly or not, but let's keep moving. Yeah, so the terrain is really stunning. I mean, I feel like I'm rambling at this point, but I think the video hopefully does it justice. I think it's like anything, it really needs to be experienced when you're playing it to fully appreciate it, but just if you can just kind of take it all in, it's really amazing work. You can't, oh, somebody was here, or an animal was here, because the animals do hunt, so a bear or a wolf may have killed that deer. So we'll keep moving along these rocks here and see where it brings us. And guys, I think, just looking at this, you can get a sense of, if you were being pursued through this landscape, there's lots of places to kind of hide, lose your, pursuers. And I think it's going to make for some much more interesting and emergent gameplay in Rust and stories. Rust for me is a game that's all about the stories that emerge from the narrative that's driven by the players. So I can just imagine something happening where I'm being chased by some dudes up here and I have to duck out into the rocks, and it just would be a very fun experience and a fun one to tell, and now that I record, hopefully a fun one to share.